So the WISE Group are a third sector organisation, a charity who deal with people with lived experience, i.e. people in the community justice, criminal justice system, as well as people that are looking to get themselves back into work, people who are looking to get re-skilled so they can get back to work, and people who are living with fuel poverty. And by fuel poverty I mean those who have been hit with a bill that they can't afford to pay. We will then act as their agent to have negotiations with the power supplier and try and get them onto some sort of payment plan. In addition, we look at how they can keep their fuel bills low, so we look at what grants are available for insulation, for alternative energy sources, and we help people manage the implementation of that. So we are based in Glasgow but work throughout Scotland and the northeast of England, and I've been on the go for 20 something years, for a long time. So that's primarily what we do. Community justice, if we take that as an example, so community justice, they will go out to the prisons, work with people in the prisons who are coming up to release. They'll try and organise for accommodation to ensure that people are able to get money to live, that they have at least some furniture, maybe a bed to sleep on. And also that person is unlikely to reoffend. So we look at reoffending rates, and our reoffending rate compared to the national average is less than half. So the programme we run has had a really positive effect on reoffending rates, which helps society in general. I think the issue though that we had was that there's a lot of paperwork involved in that. So it's very difficult for the guys to gather all the information, and particularly in a prison where you're not able to take any technology in with you. We were looking at some mechanism to prevent them having to fill out paperwork, then come back to the office, retype that into some kind of system, and then file the paperwork for a record later on. So in working with Pulsion, we were looking to get something that would take away that double entry and that would allow for the guys to work in the community more. And I suppose an extension of that is that for all the other programmes I mentioned, we have different CRMs. So the intent here is to try and get a single CRM that allows us to cross-pollinate the different areas of the business with clients and ensure that we're giving them a holistic service rather than just the kind of one-size-fits-all type thing. So Pulsion were able to come up with a solution that both cut down the admin that we'd have to do on community justice, but also gives us that route to a single CRM for the entirety of the business. So the solution is very much a bespoke CRM. We did look at all of the kind of incumbent CRM solutions, but we felt that getting something that was specific to us would allow for a more efficient implementation. So the solution involves use of OCR and ICR. For those that are not aware of what that is, it allows us to capture where we're not allowed to take technology and we've still got to fill out a form. It means we can fill out that form and it'll still end up in the CRM through using character recognition rather than having to come in and retype it. So it means that the guys can do it in the community without having to come back to the office. It cuts down our carbon footprint, which is important to us. Also means that the guys are much more efficient. They can do 4 and 5 calls, don't have to come back into the office each time. So it has a cost benefit in that we don't have travel costs, etc. And we can see more and impact more of our client base with the same resource. So it's got a really positive impact. Yeah, absolutely. Again, because we're working initially with community justice, I'll use that as an example, but the community justice guys believe, and from our analysis we agree, that they spend at least 20% of their time in admin functions, and we believe that can be down to less than 5%. So some guys will claim 30 to 40%, and again it depends what their caseload looks like. But I would suggest we're 25% saving at least for those that work with a client group in terms of admin and travel time. It's been excellent, to be honest. We've been supported all the way. When I joined the organisation, there was little in our organisation in terms of project management and business analysis, and Pulsion were great at supporting us initially until we got people on board and up to speed in ensuring that the project could keep moving. So we were able to get the initial requirements down. I think the other thing I've found with Pulsion is that the flexibility. We've had, as well as the kind of core business area that we've talked about, the CRM, there have been a number of other areas in relation to reporting, existing systems, websites, and it became a one-stop shop for me, so I was able to get a lot of this work done with the same organisation, and the flexibility that the guys have shown has been phenomenal in supporting us, so I couldn't ask for any more than that.
What we do with most clients, and certainly with the WISE Group, is we talk to the IT team. We talk to the business stakeholders to understand what the actual business pain is, and then we work with the IT team and stakeholders to establish the best solution we possibly can to solve those problems. Pulsion put in place a business analyst and project manager to fully refine the scope. Once the scope was refined, we then put in place a 4-man development team doing both back-end and front-end development with constant and regular feedback with the client to ensure that we are on the right path and they are fully engaged with what we're doing. I certainly hope our engagement is a long-term engagement. We've finished phase 1 and we're moving on to phase 2, which is fully scoped and ready to go. And I'd imagine working with WISE Group moving forward, there'll be a range of different problems we can solve, and hopefully the relationship will be a long one.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons that I chose Pulsion was their geekishness, for the want of a better expression. It's always cutting edge technology the guys look at. John, who is the MD, is always, I like my gadgets, but he's always ahead of me even in what the latest thing is. And he always applies it appropriately, so he looks at your business and says, I saw such and such that I think might help. And it's not about generating revenue for John, it's about the use of the technology. And as a technologist myself, that's the kind of company I'm looking for. So if you want, as I did, something that will be leading edge, that will be innovative, that will try things, even if they don't always work, come up with an alternative solution, then Pulsion was the company that did that. And others were very much, here's an off-the-shelf package, we can tweak it a little bit to make it what you want. Whereas this was, we'll build you exactly what you want, and we'll use the latest technologies, and where there isn't a technology, we'll build one for you. And that's what I needed.